Game time decisions from Buckeye Talk for the game time decisions. Ohio State against Michigan on Saturday at noon in Ann Arbor on Fox. For those of you who can't make it up there, these are our game time decisions. I'm Nathan Baird from cleveland.com along with Stephen Means, sort of the essential elements of this game that are going to decide whether Ohio State adds another win to the streak or whether Michigan plays the big spoiler and salvages its own playoff destiny here at the end of the season. Stephen, what is your game time decision?
Yeah, we've pretty much talked about it all week, and once again, I'm going to emphasize it. David Ajabo and Aiden Hutchinson have 19 combined sacks. Ajabo with 10, Hutchinson with 9. And obviously, Nicholas Petit-Frere and DeJuan Jones have been very solid for Ohio State this year. CJ Stroud has only been sacked 9 times. So the question isn't, can they keep, CJ Stroud from getting sacks, but can they keep Aiden Hutchinson and David Ajabo from just being felt by CJ? Because as he said after the Michigan State game, I'm usually just chilling back there. And when he has time to go through his reads and he feels comfortable in that pocket, we see what happens. You get 80% completion percentage, you get 90% completion ratings, you get 400-yard games and 6 touchdowns and a half and everything else under the sun. And so the question is not so much about the sacks, it's about, can Aiden Hutchinson and David Ajabo get QB hurries? Can they force him out of the pocket and make him go on the run and feel like he's got to buy time to get receivers open? Can they make CJ Stroud feel uncomfortable? Because I think that does just enough to maybe change some things in Michigan's favor, because those two are going to decide how this game is going to go. Is it going to be a blowout as I predicted, or is it going to be a much closer game?
We thought all season long Ohio State's season would be in part defined by how this offensive line responded to some pass rushers, whether that was Boye Mafe from Minnesota, whether that was George Karlaftis from Purdue, Oregon's Kayvon Thibodeau, who they ended up playing. And they've passed every test so far, except Thibodeau, who they didn't end up playing, and a game that they lost. But down the stretch, I think they've held up pretty well. But I actually think that the deciding factor in this game, almost as far as what Ohio State's offense does in some ways, is what Michigan's offense does. Michigan has to come out and find a way to, it's not going to match explosiveness. It's not going to come out and do the things that Ohio State does with its passing attack and the 3 guys and Trevion Henderson. That's not Michigan's style, and it's not Michigan's talent level, frankly. I think the key to this game, and I don't really have a stat that goes along with it, it's just success on first down. Michigan's got to come out and not put itself behind the 8 ball on 2nd and 3rd down and allow Ohio State then to kind of dictate what's happening on the field. If Michigan can come out and have first down success, whether that means running the ball when Ohio State knows it's going to run the ball and still having success, whether that means coming out with the quick passes and stuff out into the boundary and just going horizontal but attacking and moving the ball that way, they've got to do something on first down that gives them a chance to then play to their own strengths on 2nd and 3rd down, keep the chains moving, and keep CJ Stroud and the rest of that offense on the sideline. These last couple of years, I know that the big scores for Ohio State are what kind of get the notice here, but if Michigan, we've seen other rivalries around the country where a team puts up big scores and so does the other team. It can get a high scoring affair and it gets into a bit of a shootout. And I think that's what Michigan's got to find a way to do in its own way. It can't probably be 54-52 or something like that. But if Michigan scores into the high 30s and is moving the ball enough and keeping Ohio State off the field, that's where an upset could happen. So I think when I look at my game time decision, it's how does Michigan do on first down, or more to the point, what does Ohio State do on first down, limiting Michigan's yardage and then setting themselves up to bring Tyreek Smith, Zach Harrison, Haskell Garrett, and everybody else coming after Cade McNamara after that. Get the text 614-350-3315, news and analysis all day, pregame, during the game, and afterwards from